or push through gold pipes and whirlpool over to A. Now we're hopping on board with It's Moreo as we get into the game here. Picks up, does not pick up the player at gold steps for his team, but managed to stay alive. That I would say is equally important, and get control of Snipe. And the Caster's Curse comes in as Vibrant Ninjas takes him down and takes down a second player, looking for a third as well as he sees Coded FPS takes the triple kill. Vibrant Ninjas showing off their color, I guess. I don't know. Trying to come up with a good pun there, but unfortunately coming up short. But you know who's not coming up short is Saga Man over for We Get White, picking up a couple kills with the shock rifle, going for another one. Unfortunately doesn't get it, but We Get Wiped with the triple cap temporarily and holding down B and C, even while Str8 TIlted is in control of gold. Very impressive.
Some early points on the board there, but it does look like having a little bit of trouble keeping that. It's B going the way of Str8 TIlted now, and We Get Wiped. It's just standing out in the open is Ninjas. Coded will end up going down, so that's the shock rifle dropped for the moment. Honest Lawyer, the only player left for We Got Wiped alive, and it's Morero is going to get a nice spot over top of B to start watching from. Not calling out the rotation on this C yet, which gives a lot of free entryway to We Got Wiped, and now they're even going to get control of that pipes and maintenance area. So some really big control coming off of the spawn. They took so much space so quickly. Str8 TIlted just weren't able to hold anything.
It just comes down to Str8 TIlted was a little bit separated out. They were a little bit too proud to really help each other, and you need to be able to control some of those crosses on this map in order to break any push that's coming from the other team. Saga Man here moving towards the camo, trying to assist his team with Steve Platt. Str8 TIlted just running past. Apparently they didn't see Saga Man pick up the camo, and that's going to be to their detriment. As, again, we're in a triple cap scenario for just a minute until Str8 TIlted picks up A. Saga Man leading this lobby, actually. He has 10 kills already. That is pretty crazy.
That is far beyond everyone else. Eventually does go down. That camo was about fairly close to fading, so it doesn't lose too much of the time. Str8 TIlted do find 2, and now they're going to try to cap B, but not if Honest Lawyer has anything to say about it. I'm trying to put these nades down. He gets a sticky very close to that player holding B. Does find the kill, but not before it gets flipped over. So Str8 TIlted find B and C, but the kills start to come out very quickly, and it's already 3 down. There's just that one player remaining on glass, helping the teammates spawn in. C and A get capped immediately. Now there are 2 angles to push B from, but these players for Str8 TIlted are all spawning pipes. They have multiple ways to push out from. It's just whether or not they'll be able to find any pressure before they get collapsed. It's not going to happen, though. It looks like the Str8 TIlted are going to be able to come out of pipes and find some kills. We got wiped only with 2 remaining. They have to start figuring out what they want to prioritize, and it's going to be a rotation from Vibrant Ninjas to A. Doesn't contest it in time. It gets turned over, and Vibrant Ninjas may still lose their life. They do.
I was itching to say, like, if I was the coach, Str8 TIlted, I was trying to say, like, hey, you got to push something here. You can't just sit back in corners. And I guess they heard the little voice in my head, because they did exactly that. They made a coordinated push over to A, got that under control. Now they're scoring here. We Get Wiped is kind of stuck at C at the moment. And it's not really the best position here when you're trying to get control of B back. Coded FPS holding down the camo now at bottom control tower. But it looks like in the process of getting that camo, Str8 TIlted has abandoned gold. So it's going to be up to them to get control of gold back.
And now Coded is going to be able to go on a tear as well, because there was no focus on the active camo from We Got Wiped. They were able to finally shut him down, and Saga Man has 17 kills, yet Str8 TIlted are in the lead with score right now passing the 100-point mark on the board. So they're coming up toward a halfway mark here, and this player in glass is going to go down. Saga Man creeping towards 20 kills, able to hold control of this B area from Whirlpool while the team caps A. So We Got Wiped finally able to find control off the back of Saga Man's insane kill streak there.
And it's kind of crazy to look at that and see Sagaman with 18 and his teammate Honest Lawyer with just 2. But Honest Lawyer has been doing a lot of the moving and shaking, getting a lot of people weak. Picks up another kill. Fortunately, goes down. I guess he should have called the dishonest lawyer. You know, better call Saul. Sorry, have to do it. Contractually obligated. Had to make awful jokes. Coded FPS here with the snipe. Production in the ear, telling me how awful my jokes are. Goes down because the caster's curse always wins. Vibrant Ninjas now taking control of B with his teammate, Honest Lawyer. I believe that is. And now, if we get wiped here, I would say push A immediately. Instead, they hold back, get control of gold back. Str8 TIlted is now spawning all over A, and they have also 1 player in control tower. So in this situation now that they have made, the next best play is going to be to push towards C, get control of that without giving up gold.
I do really like that play. I'm not sure they're executing it quite in time with this player just coming up a little bit too late. And it looks like they got really out of position there. It was all up to Sagaman to close it out, and of course he will end up doing so. I do really like that approach, though. By playing it slow, they figured out where Str8 TIlted had most of their players allocated and attacked C to make them rotate. Unfortunately, Str8 TIlted were able to make those rotations, and now they're kind of getting themselves situated on C. Sure, there's a death, but they do recontest, and they still have several players to hold this spot. It's a full rush from We Get Wiped, though, and it looks like with those 2 kills, they're going to be able to put those bodies back on C and flip it right back. Not only that, but they have pressure on A as well. So not having too many issues with open sightlines onto B. They're going to try to take down all these players coming off of spawn in pipes and on glass. And now they have to play these corners. They have control of 2, but which is going to be focused? It looks like A is what Str8 TIlted are going for. They had to have some players rotate from C, but We Got Wiped. Only 2 players remaining. Vibrant Ninjas on the respawn. It looks like Str8 TIlted are making the rotation. Honest Lawyer sees it, calling it out now. It's a little bit staggered in the control area, and B has to be defended by Str8 TIlted. Otherwise, Honest Lawyer is going to take advantage of this scramble. Where are these players from We Got Wiped going? They try to get to elevator, but get taken out. Honest Lawyer in a gunfight here by Maintenance. Neither of these players want to go down, so it's a 1v1 over here on glass. So much happening across the map, but Honest Lawyer eventually ends up going down, and Str8 TIlted with all players alive, approaching that 200-point mark. They're going to try to close out this game with this hold.
I'm seeing constantly We Get Wiped. They have not necessarily a bad idea. They are doing better than what you see sometimes in the Arena playlist, where you have people who just immediately rush as hard as possible, who immediately will throw bodies wherever in the hopes that something will stick and work out for them. But there is also the concept of maybe taking a little bit too much time, of staying back when really what you need to do is make that push. And right here, Sagaman surely has to have some idea that somebody is around C, since it just flipped right in front of him. His team is getting B. We Get Wiped is now scoring once again. But even if you weren't going to go take C, I would have said, hey, look around there, maybe clear it out, see if you can find out where Str8 TIlted is, so you can defeat any pushes. But Sagaman is saying, nah fam, but do it my way, as he picks up kill number 27 with the shock rifle.
Yeah, I do really like the idea there. Honestly, I think pulling back from C was wise, because in the end it helped them to capture B, and being able to help the team cap that objective got them into the position they are now, which is, it seems to be the team's priority hold, which is A and B. The opportunity to get C is enticing, but the ability to have A and B with a little bit more work put out as a team is much more stable. So now the team does have that locked in. A is finally getting flipped over. Sagaman gonna try to hold B here. Can't get one target focused, so neither go down. Str8 TIlted have plenty of bodies to hold B. Now they've got A as well. 40 points remaining for them to close it out. We Got Wiped. They're gonna cap C here, stop the trip cap from happening, and from those points from going way up out of control. this will likely be the last active camo of the game. It can be really important. Shock rifle on the ground there as well, as Coded ends up going down. Now, to be honest, Lawyer with the shock rifle in the hand. No, not even going to pick it up. Just going to continue to get these kills here with the Bandit.
Doesn't need it. He's honest.
He is very honest.
And he's doing a real good job staying alive. I'm very happy with that. Unfortunately, we do go down, and I'm just seeing again, like, We Get Wiped's patience is kind of running up against them a little bit. They are doing a good job with the team pushes. The slays are definitely coming in, you know, evidenced by Saga Man. But Str8 TIlted has their own slay ability as well. You have Sparing Cake over there with 21 kills. And Str8 TIlted, I think, is right now doing a better job of pushing when the opportunity arises. I feel like We Get Wiped has opportunities come up in front of them, but they're not taking advantage when they should. And it's causing them to have quite a bit of a lead to deal with now. It's by no means unwinnable, but the bigger that lead gets out of Str8 TIlted, the harder things become, the less mistakes that We Get Wiped can make. They are maintaining this AB hold right now. The thing I want to see from them, though, is those controlling A. They need to be really watching the gold crosses, and then the people over at gold need to be really watching for mangler pushes like are going on right now. They need to be shooting across constantly at people who are at bottom control, who are at mid bridge and triple stack. And they also need to keep an eye on B, and unfortunately they have not been able to do that. So now We Get Wiped is forced to capture C, and I guess they're here and here. They got a fly on the wall somewhere, because as soon as people were on B, they immediately threw bodies on C in order to capture that and to keep the train rolling while they managed to pick up camo in the hands of Saga Man. So, you know, I'm more than happy to eat my own words here. The the flies on the wall are working overtime today.
Oh, yeah. Saga Man here with teammates finding two and Saga Man having camo. This could be the closer. It would be a 70-point comeback, maybe even more. All players from Str8 TIlted back online. They have to get pressure on something right now. Trying to cap A, but it gets shut down. The push onto C is over, and now it's an AC hold. 5 points remaining. Can anybody get there in time to touch? There will be an attempt on C. Saga Man will end up going down. There's one chance here for Str8 TIlted to get C. They do have B, but they sent too many players the other way. Vibrant Ninjas gets B and gets that final point on the board by getting that cap. Somehow turned all the way around. We got Wiped looking to move up, whether it be in these mixed or in the pre-made later on. And now we jump into this one. It's going to be We Got Wiped taking a lot of control of the map early on and able to find that overshield as well as Honest Lawyer now. So it looks like Nursing Dr. Love finds two, and Str8 TIlted are able to keep this one at a 2-2 for now. That overshield almost all the way gone. So a reset from both teams is going to mean the power items here aren't going to come into play too much. That one does almost keep Honest Lawyer alive, but even with a little bit of boost extra from the overshield, still going to end up going down. It's right back to 3-3 though. Nursing Dr. Love, that's going to be a tough one there, is keeping this one alive with 3 kills on the board, keeping them tied up.
That they are. On board now with Vibrant Ninjas, though, from We Get Wiped. He's holding down Pink 2, holding down top middle. What I want to see happen from either of these two teams, they're playing Aquarius here fairly slow. Usually in some of the higher division lobbies, it's usually not 7-6 after the first minute and a half, basically, of time. Usually the score is a little bit higher. Both these teams are playing this very patiently. And I kind of want to see a little more aggression out of both these teams. Trap the other team in a base. Swarm in, kill them all, rinse and repeat as they spawn across map. Maintain control of top middle and of utility so you maintain control of the overshield. But above all, the big thing to maintain all of that is the communication. I wish we could go to a listen in on this, because I'm curious to see how they are coordinating these traps that Str8 TIlted is currently running. Are they coordinating them or to allow Marrero to get that, or is it just a timing thing where We Get Wiped is not able to test that overshield play? Something I'd be pretty interested to know, but now we have Marrero pushing in blue base with that overshield. Does not pick up the kill at blue courtyard, but his teammate does. These 3 people on blue util bridge, has to back down on the reload. Does he get it in time? No, he does not. That is a heartbreaker right there.
And right now, Nursing Dr. Love doing everything they can to keep the team in this one. Without Nursing Dr. Love here, it's only 8 points on the board for the team. So the other 10 are all on the side of Nursing Dr. Love right now. That's 3 going down for We Get Wiped, and only Honest Lawyer remaining. We'll see if they can catch him out of position. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Marrero right now trying to rotate around the back of this corner where it seems like all of We Get Wiped are set up. Some nades could be really deadly here. Not even going to be needed at the moment. 2 already go down for We Get Wiped. That's a 3rd there, and that's another team fight win for Str8 TIlted. It started off fairly even, but now we see Str8 TIlted clearly starting to pull ahead.
We are, and it's coming down to just winning those team fights where they are not being caught out individually. Like, it feels like every time we see a member of We Get Wiped, they're kind of on their own, dying out in the middle of the map, whereas Str8 TIlted, there's always someone running next to them or someone who's able to shoot across map. And even there with Dragon Pack putting shots from blue flag over to pink 2, he picks up those kills. That's a very nice play out of him, but without him pushing out of that base, the 2 members of Str8 TIlted he was shooting at would have lived. I mean, Str8 TIlted is just doing a very good job of staying alive whenever they're getting shot. They're not giving up any free kills. They're not, as Ryan would say, getting averaged.
Oh, certainly not. Now Coded trying to take shots from afar isn't going to find anything. It's going to give time for We Get Wiped to get set up. This overshield slowly ticking down. What use will be made of it? It looked like Coded wanted to go for an approach there with the team, but maybe not enough players on board yet. A nice pinch, but not from the player you would have expected. The overshield ends up burning down, and just some pressure held up in top mid was enough to really get the job done. And now, not quite a back smack, but there will still be a kill. Vibrant Ninja ends up going down. And now 32 points on the board. It's still a 7-kill separation. It stayed about there for quite a while now. Not sure where the player's going to come from. Thank goodness for teammates. But did they not see the other one on the way? It looks like they just did not want to peek the head out. Very wise to do so. Sees a teammate go down and able to find a kill now onto Dragon. There's so many players just funneling their way out. They want to try to find just Coded at least, who has been so low so many times. I can't imagine how many calls there have been of one shot. And at this point, finally, they get one down. But Nursing Dr. Love still doing very well. A nice stick. Good job closing the distance to make sure that both of those players die. But I think Str8 TIlted at this point will take those trades any day there. Up by 7, coming toward the 40 mark. And they're getting these players pinched into security. If they can get the respawns here, you can start to push in on them. But wisely, Str8 TIlted will start to break away.
It's coming down again to they're trapping We Get Wiped in a flag. They're not giving up easy deaths, and they're pushing together when they get the opportunity. Pick up a couple of kills here or there, and you know, you think of a team getting rolled on a Slayer, you think, oh, they're constantly going 4 down. No, it's not getting constantly 4 down. Where you get rolled is where your team is constantly on a cycle where it feels like 2 of you are up, 2 of you are down at all times. And even when you're spawning up, you're spawning away from your team, you're not able to help them, and even if you try, it only ends up with you dying. Bearing Cake now pushing this overshield, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Bearing Cake looking to end this right now as they push the overshield into yellow flag. Finds Saga Man on We Get Wiped, takes him down, and they're getting calls, I think, that they are all over yellow util, pushing in fast as possible. There we go, 48 kills. Not 49 there, but it will be soon. 49 from Nursing Dr. Love, and then Marrero with the 50th. 50 to 37, the Str8 TIlted answers right back.
Fight and actually be of significance to their team.
Absolutely, and that staggering of respawns is going to be just as relevant here on King of the Hill as it is on Team Player. Saga Man looking already up to 2 kills, 3 kills right off the bat. He's trying to ride a Saga, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And he is the man to do it as he goes for the no-scope and gets it. 4-0 currently. No one else on his team has even had the opportunity. Saga Man says like, no, it's my job. You guys stay back and just chill on the hill. I got this. I got your back. 5
It's a killing spree already. 5-0 before the rest of the team is able to pick anything. Well, didn't really have to do anything about that one in particular. That player ends up going down, but somehow.
Did you see the camo player who was walking across? I wonder.
Oh, you can. Well, obviously we can see the outline.
I saw the outline, and oh no, he did not see coded FPS with that camouflage.
No, definitely did not. Coded FPS now in a nice position. Somehow Str8 TIlted come out of this one already about to tie the hill time. They were able to make one good push, and that's the rough thing about winning out the early game so well, is that you're still waiting to position yourself properly so you don't get as much time early on. Str8 TIlted winning out that second team fight, it makes it so that they're immediately able to start getting time on the objective and even it out. In fact, they're very close to closing this one out. If they can kill these players here on Pillar, it's going to be pretty much just up to Coded, who's going to back off a little bit, going to regroup with the team, knows that there's only one more opportunity here, going to rotate to sandbags and try to approach from a different angle. Sparring is even going to take the route from tunnel to pillars here to approach from a different side, and Vibrant Ninjas has nowhere to hide. A really nice pinch. If they can keep these players from We Got Wiped from touching, they're not going to be able to cap. It's a long chase into tunnel. It pulls a lot of attention away, and now Saga Man standing in the hill trying to close it out. Not going to happen. Str8 TIlted. They get some players on, and this could be their hill. It doesn't look like anyone's going to contest. Str8 TIlted get the first hill of the game.
Yeah, I think what that came down to was just taking a little bit too much time. That patience kind of fighting them once again. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to get everybody in position so that they could attack the hill from multiple angles, but they ended up taking a little bit too much time as a whole, and they just did not have that time to play with. Dragon Pack here with the camouflage now. He's not that far behind from Saga Man. He has 6 kills on his own. Very nice and respectable. He's patrolling the hill, currently looking for calls from his team. He sees the 2 members of Str8 TIlted over at training. And I like this too. He's not being too aggressive with that camo. He's staying back and he's watching the approaches. And that he saw Nurse and Dr. Love there as he was pushing through mud, and that's the reason why he came back like the way that he did. And that, I would say, would be the more important play than getting any kind of slays, even with that camouflage.
And I think one thing that would be important here for Dragon is to pay attention to the type of nades that you have equipped, because it seemed like Dragon may have been trying to use some frag grenades to bounce off the ground there. Of course, the stickies do a little bit of a bounce, and it's a nice position to hold, but they don't go quite as far. And throwing some of those spike grenades as well in positions where you're trying to get them past the ledge. Obviously, those are going to stick immediately. So maybe needing to watch those rotations. Every single piece of utility can be detrimental, and it shows just how much there is to keep track of in Halo, that even when you're doing well, there are still things that are going to get you flustered. Right now, We Got Wiped, not getting flustered, finding these kills and able to get some kill time, and in fact, they cap. So they put one on the board without Str8 TIlted really being able to touch it much at all there at the end. Now it's going to be all the way on house side that they're going to have to approach. No camo to grab on the way through. Sometimes you get some lucky timing, and there's a camo on the way online. You get 2 birds with 1 stone, but Str8 TIlted are going to be the first ones stepping on. The kills slowly but surely in the way of We Get Wiped, and as the teammates start to trickle in, they just have to clean up. And with Marrero going down, that's going to be We Got Wiped getting pretty comfortable as they wait for camo to come online in 20.
Here with Vibrant Ninjas holding down the scoreboard hill. Ends up going down. Dragon Pack trying to hold it down now as well. Camo's coming up in less than 10 seconds, and that's a big 1v1 to win from Dragon Pack. I want to see we get wiped, especially since they've gone 2 down. Try and focus on getting the camo and or at least preventing Str8 TIlted from having it, because you don't want them to have map control and the hill as Honest Lawyer goes down there. It doesn't look like they were successful in preventing that camouflage. It looks like, I'm sorry, they were successful. Vibrant Ninjas was able to get away with that camo. Picks up 1 kill, and he's trying to find the second one on small window. Unfortunately, does not get him before dying, but still very nice overall, and we get wiped again. That fly on the wall is going in overtime for him. They picked up the camo, they picked up control of the map. Honest Lawyer picking up a nice headshot there as Str8 TIlted goes 3 down. We get wiped. It's fixing to take this hill and bring the score to 2-1.
And there it is. We get wiped up now by 1 point. It is a 2-1 game, halfway to what they need. Still almost 3 minutes of non-possession time on the board. Honest Lawyer going to get out of that fight and stay alive. Gets a nice rotation to sandbags and almost gets the shields broken on a fight they were down on, but it's Sniper in the hands of Saga Man, who is of course such a lethal player. Getting power weapons is never good if you're on the side of Str8 TIlted. Saga Man is going to make their lives a living nightmare right now. As we find out where these players are coming from, gets a nice no-scope on the body to finish off sparring, and it's going to be quickly evened out by Nurse Dr. Love there. Unable to hit that shot on Coded, and it's 4 dead for We Get Wiped. So going to be some nice time on the board for Str8 TIlted to catch up to what Wiped have already done.
And we have Coded holding Snipe down at top tower. You have kind of mixed up spawns for We Get Wiped. Some of them spawned outside around Dummy. Some of them spawned at A. And it looks like We Get Wiped actually were not as patient as they normally are, even with that nice trade from Vibrant Ninjas. I'm actually amazed. They were able to parlay this into some hill time. I'm guessing Str8 TIlted kind of maybe pushed out a little too much to defeat some of those pushes, and as a result, they're not really controlling the hill much. They're fighting Saga Man, who's at back mud with the sniper rifle, being an absolute terror. As he picks up 1 kill, gets an assist on another, and is going to finish off this hill here. 3-1 now.
Yeah, that's going to be game point for We Get Wiped. The camo was not popped in time, so it's going to be Coded getting hands on a power item. Once again, that sniper rifle shot goes a little bit wide, but it was close. You have to be very careful. Sitting on the ramp, 3 players from We Get Wiped, and a nice back smack. Great patience to find the player behind, and still, there are players that haven't taken note of this position from Coded, so he's going to find a second. And now it's this difficult hill in the center where Str8 TIlted are going to be able to put some really good time on. It's a tough spot to carry out a lot of time at once. Finally, Coded ends up going down, but Saga Man took a lot of damage in that fight, and the top slayer for the team ends up going down quick. Almost a team kill. Marrero has to be careful with those spike grenades.
That he does, but I'm just going to take a minute to shout out Coded FPS and his patience there. It would be very easy for a lot of people with the camouflage to immediately start shooting in that situation, to immediately start trying to pick up as many kills as possible from behind. He was patient enough to wait, pick up the couple of people who were easy to pick up and who were really weak. That patience speaks to potential for a lot higher level of play. Maybe we'll see Coded FPS in Challenger Division.
Yeah, I think there are a few players here who are going to be making their way up the ladder, and that's what's so great about this exposure for players who are making their way into the competitive scene or are already in it and want a place to show off their skills even more, move their way up. So a lot of players really showing off here today, and Vibrant Ninjas trying to get added to that list, holding this hill all on their own while the rest of the team is roaming, trying to find kills on respawns. It's going to be a spot for another 1v1 on the hill here. Has to find that target. It's going to be behind. Never a comfy place to fight from, and Nursing Dr. Love finds the trade. It is We Get Wiped, still in control, but with only Honest Lawyer really alive. It was a nice spawn for Dragon, though, and some really good spots. Vibrant ends up getting split, though, and they might find him very quickly unless he can make this rotation to pillars. No, it's a sniper in hand. Could be really dangerous. Misses the first shot, misses the second. Gonna nade and go for the bandit. Able to get a kill out of it, but for right now, Straight Tilted do get a little bit of hill time, and they end up winning that fight, so going to put even more on the board.
And as we quickly approach the halfway point on this hill, we have Straight Tilted spawning over at A, we have We Get Y spawning at C, pushing across through pillars and sandbags. The thing that we need to see from Straight Tilted there was a little bit more defense of sandbags. They got to kind of expect that kind of push. Marrero picking up a nice double kill and stopping the hill time, but they've got not a lot of time to work with. Sorry for the alliteration here, but they don't have time to make mistakes. They don't have a whole lot of time to, as I keep doing it, coordinate a push. They kind of have to go now and coordinate on the fly. And it looks like, again, the flies in the wall working overtime. They have succeeded in doing this, but We Get White has also had success in staying alive in the hill. You have a member from Straight Tilted contesting, and it looks like they were able to contest for a good long while, but is it long enough for someone from Straight Tilted to get in there? And it looks like it was. The clock stopped.
Yeah.
Both of these teams need just like a second. And Straight Tilted wins the engagement. Straight Tilted with the last second push. The incredible awareness of staying alive and not over-challenging. As the last hill on C-Plat is now in place. Nurse and Dr. Love, unfortunately, goes down. Both these teams 2 down, 3 down now for We Get Wiped. The last player alive, it's Marrero. Showing off why it's his name and not someone else's. Sorry, more bad puns. As production continues to boo me.
Big time off the back of Sparing Cake's double nade as well. The only reason they're really still alive in this one is because of that start right there. It left just enough players down for Straight Tilted to be able to take, and now they are so far in the lead of this final hill. It will certainly be the final hill. It is nursing Dr. Love now with a sniper, unable to hit the shot, so 2 go down, and it could be a third. It will be a third. A triple kill from Vibrant Ninjas alone ends up going down. It's just Sparing Cake here with the sniper rifle, has to hold this last little bit of percentage. Can anybody contest before it goes down? You have to start getting on point if you're one of the We Got White players here. Does not get the kill, and it looks like Straight Tilted still have control. They're able to finish that one off. They take their second game of the series, and they move themselves.
We Get Wiped doing really great, but Straight Tilted definitely bringing things back with the slays. It was a lot more even, and if that trend continues here, then We Get Wiped, they're in some trouble. But Sagaman said it's no trouble. His fly on the wall is like, hey, we heard this caster's maybe saying something about you. He says, okay, I'll just pick up the perfect kill with the Stalker. Goes for a second one, but unfortunately goes down. Straight Tilted, the first team to touch the ball. Coded FBS just scrapping some time. His team's not around him, but hey, that's okay. He can get a little bit of time, and now his team's spawning around him. Dragon Pack out on his own and gets taken down.
Some nice spawns there, honestly. Fairly lucky and pretty good positioning from Straight Tilted. We Got Wiped, didn't put on enough pressure to stop the team spawns from coming through. They let Coded get a little bit too set up in the back there, and now going to be Sparing Cake, finding another kill to keep this time ticking. Coded already putting almost 40 points on the board. Hasn't had to put that ball down since it was picked up. This entire team, so much freedom, and a very nice from the front to the back, just going all over the place there from up above. Finds the melee kill, a double as well, and now finally shutting down that long-term hold. Coded was able to find a kill before the end there, so holding onto the Bulldog, clearly a benefit. Didn't make it a full setup from We Got Wiped, and now maybe you can catch one player out of position. No, it looks like it's going to be a clean respawn, and now We Got Wiped are in that same setup that Straight Tilted just had.
They are, but I want to shout out Coded FPS making that play there. Even though Sagaman, he made an incredible play on his own, got camouflage, picked up 2 kills. That is, of course, a fantastic thing, but what ended up happening is he didn't really clear out PD despite knowing that there was somebody in there with the ball. The end result of it was that Coded picked up a lot of time with it, was able to pick up the kill as well because of that Bulldog, and it wasn't cleared out in PD. And Str8 TIlted have maintained this control. They've maintained this solid lead here, even without just a minute, basically, of non-possession time down on the clock. Str8 TIlted is keeping the pressure up as Nursing Dr. Love gets his mitts on the ball and starts racking up more and more time. We hit the 70-point mark here. It's going to be game over this round number 1 pretty soon here. And Str8 TIlted is definitely, they're feeling it. They definitely want this to be the end of the series.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at the kills on the board right now. Nobody's even double digits yet, and we're already looking at closing out round 1. So no massive performances, just some really great covers. And I think Coded assumed he could get a little bit more time out of that one than he was really going to. Tried to run with the ball instead of taking the gunfight, and now we got wiped. Vibrant Ninjas is going to pick up the ball, get a little bit more time on the board. This is a dangerous setup. If Str8 TIlted can take advantage of it, then so can we. Got wiped. There is one player down. Now Coded tries to hide behind Bulldog. That's not going to work. And Nursing Dr. Love also ends up going down. Vibrant Ninjas swapping between holding the ball and getting kills there. That was very, very clean. And currently it's just Marrero trying to find a position to not die in. There's damage from every direction. Gets the Bulldog in hand and somehow lives.
And weaving with that Shroud. Something that has been popping up more and more recently in the arena playlist and in customs as well. I see people will pop the Shroud, and times where you may not think that you would. They might pop it somewhere and then hide nearby it, try and bait people into coming in looking for the oddball carrier or looking for you if you have a power weapon. But doing so there in order to break the line of sight, in order to stay alive over there at A Tower was an incredible thing to see. 99 to 45 and counting. Str8 TIlted just needs 1 second here in order to end this round number 1 and get us into round number 2.
And with that kill, it looks like it might just happen. Marrero here is going to get a nice spot. There's not a really clean engagement, so they're allowing for Sagaman to respawn here and possibly group with the team. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Sagaman's going to be the last one to stagger in. It only needed to be 1 second. Then Nursing Dr. Love is going to make sure that second goes up on the board. Coded with a nice, clean, I think it said 87 points there, racked up. A really, great carry on that first round. And literally meaning carry as in carry that skull that will give you points on the board. So it's Nursing Dr. Love going down first in this round 2. It may not be quite the same. It might not be huge early points for Str8 TIlted. We got wiped, being really aggressive, running into the spawn of the subway here. And now on the purple rotation, really patient, almost a little too patient, taking some shots from behind, and now Str8 TIlted get the kills on the board. Only Dragon Pack still alive. Somehow we got wiped. Don't get out of there with controller. Don't get out of there with camo. No objective. They only find 1 more kill to try to get back into this one, but finally ball's going to go into the hands of Coded, and we know how long that can stay there.
Here we have now Sparing Cake, camouflage, stalker rifle in hand. Spots out 2 players from We Get Wiped. Wisely backs away from that engagement. Stays alive with that camo. Unfortunately, does not stay alive quite as long as they wanted to. Vibrant Ninjas now on the screen, trying to prevent Str8 TIlted from touching that ball too much. I feel like both these teams are playing this round a lot slower. They kind of were feeling each other out maybe a little bit that first round, and now they're trying to... my words are leaving me here. Or play off each other's weaknesses, and if we get wiped, they're trying to exploit, I would say, maybe their greater overall slaying power between Sagaman and Vibrant Ninja to get a little bit more ball time, but they're not having as much success as they would like, as Coded FPS still holding on to that ball with 94 seconds of time. That is a incredible stat line to see, especially in a Game 4 oddball like this, where that is so important.
Yeah, and I had talked previously before this game had started about whichever team has a player that understands those oddball rotations better and the safest points to rotate through based on positioning of the enemy team, that could be the benefit Coded FPS is clearly that player. Unfortunately, right now, does not have the ball in hand, so it's Vibrant Ninjas rotating it toward the arcade side. Actually going to keep it in Subway for now, despite the lack of teammates. Thankfully for him, they're going to start to rotate in. There's a little bit of coverage. Going to stand in that back corner there, get naded out. Going to take a lot of damage, gives up the oddball, but huge damage. It's still not enough to kill. Sparing Cake is going to pick up the ball, get some time on the board, but needs those teammates to come through purple and gather around, and they will. This may get into the hands of Coded soon. No, the ball not being dropped just yet, so Sparing going to hold on to this one for a little bit.
There's no reason to hand it off at this time. Get the time on the board, get the lead, play it out. Managed to not be detected there by We Get Wiped. That's excellent movement on that part of Sparing Cake. And as the clock ticks down ever onward, we're getting to the 2-minute 30-second mark in just a second here. As Cake tries to keep that ball away from We Get Wiped. Doesn't look like he's gonna have the success that he wants though, as Honest Lawyer and Saga Man are working to get this ball back into their hand.
Yeah, this one's so much more likely to actually come down to time in the end. You can see why. A nice double kill from Saga Man, despite being faced down by a Bulldog there. Looked like a dangerous spot, but ended up coming out alive. Got the double kill, and now trying to clean it up. But no, not going to stay alive long enough. So anybody's game still. Ball is in the hand of We Got Wiped. They're looking to take control. It's stuck in the mid at the moment, and active camo is online as well, so it's just going to become a war zone. But as I say that, Dragon Pack somehow gets out of there with it, with everybody's eyes on that spot. Somehow able to just grab that one up with the Shroud there. A nice one tap to finish off that kill. Sees the teammates coming around, knows that he's much more useful roaming around for kills, and stopping the incoming push. Marrero was the only player left alive. It's going to take some time for Str8 TIlted to contest, and gotta wonder, where is this ball supposed to be getting rotated by We Got Wiped? Kind of left it out in the open. Luckily, they are getting the kills to get another chance to reposition it, but not a great way to start moving it.
It's just, the rotations have been great here, but they need to do essentially what they're doing right now. They need to start getting a little bit more time on the board, and every time Dragon Pack does not pick up that shotgun, it makes me sad. And here's now Marrero coming in, taking down Dragon Pack. The ball is now down over in arcade. We Get Wiped spawning over at C, but do Str8 TIlted know that? They pick up one kill from Marrero over on driveway. I wonder if they saw the player in Red Room, and I don't believe they did. But it doesn't matter, because between Cake and Marrero, they win that engagement. That's a huge fight to lose here. And there's not too much time left on the game clock either. There's 1 minute and 7 seconds. And yes, the clock is paused whilst someone's holding the oddball. We may not have been a situation where one or both these teams is going to play for time versus trying to play for the points.
The longer Str8 TIlted have control of it here, the closer they're going to get to winning it, no matter which way it is. They do pass the point of 60, and with winning the last one by points, they may think that they have enough to control here. 2 go down for Str8 TIlted. In fact, it's 3. Nursing Dr. Love, the only player left alive, hanging around purple right now, trying to survive just long enough. And looks like Dragon with the camo once again picks up that shotgun this time, finally making you a little bit happy.
Makes me happy there, but unfortunately goes down to a from Coded FPS. Saga Man doing his best at C to stay alive, but goes down. Marrero trying to take down the ball, but goes down. Coded FPS once again, pouring in, trying to stop this ball.
It's still such a close game. I can't believe Vibrant Ninjas is still alive in this situation. I can't believe We Got Wiped still have players here. Finally, they do end up going down. The oddball is open. Honest Lawyer and Saga Man are approaching together, trying to make sure no hands get on the objective. The clock is ticking down. It's still a lead for Str8 TIlted. They're finding the kills early in the fight. Will they be able to hold these players down? They find even more ball in the hands to put a little bit more time on the clock. Realizes they need to drop it. Sparing Cake finds Dragon Pack. Gonna find these kills on the palm trees as well. Just gonna put the pressure to slow them down. There's only 13 seconds remaining. One more point goes on the clock just for good measure. We have 10 seconds left to go. Marrero trying to cover from every angle. We got wiped. They're storming the subway station. They might take the lead in this one if they can win the gunfight. They just have to find these last few players. Coded FPS ends up going down. Vibrant Ninjas, the only one remaining for We Got Wiped, and they don't end up taking it. Str8 TIlted close that one out in a mosh pit. And they...